Okay, welcome to our today's class. I warmly welcome to my Zoom audience and also the Facebook audience. I warmly welcome everyone who is watching offline and online. Um, just before we going to our today's brand new series on spiritual principle, I just want to tell and share a recap of what we were covering in last couple of months about the study of consciousness. The study of consciousness we started around 4 or 5 months ago because it's a very vast subject. It's a subject related with science, philosophy, spirituality, religion, and indirectly directly with our personal life and our business life as well. So that's why it has been extended and is still going on. So we are in on lifelong study circle where we discuss, we learn, we read those subjects which our schools, our society, they never taught us. Our parents, our teachers, they never taught us. And that's why we look like sometime a failure living life. So this study circle is helping you and helping myself to bridge the gaps of those things which are really essential for my current and the future life. So that's why today's topic we learned about in different way. Basically, it's about the spiritual truths and the facts. That's the vast subject we started 3 weeks ago in connection with consciousness. And in last two episodes, we learned about some of the major facts in spirituality, in in those life which we are living, and these facts were helping us before we get to know how we, um, as a collective people on this planet Earth, and also on a personal capacity, we have a spiritual dimension in our life, and our spiritual aspect covers and governs the all other aspect of life, whether we believe it or not, whether we want to admit it or not. That spiritual aspect or dimension is called the spiritual intelligence. And that spiritual intelligence, we learned spiritual 12 facts actually. Um, if you have missed them, you can go to on my YouTube channel. I have uploaded the recording there. However, before we going to our today new series in the spiritual truth and the spiritual fact, I want to reveal some great principles which are governing our life. Probably we know indirectly, but the good news, we are going to learn them directly now. It is uh, something really foundational and advanced learning we are going to read, and we are going to contemplate, we are going to uh, discuss in various aspects as well. My old classes and the sessions, which are two-way, I don't want to only um, teach you one way. So I would like you to respond in terms of questions, in terms of your thought on the content which we are reading, uh, because the most of the content uh, are related to these disciplines in psychology, philosophy, spirituality, sociology, and the most important thing is related with the happiness. Uh, because the more awareness we have, the more genuine happier we are, and the more ambiguity, more uh, unclarity we have a terrible life or the failure life. And unclarity leads to a mediocre and the failure life. So that's online study circle, which we do every Sunday, has a higher purpose. Only 1 hour a week will change greater impact on your life and the people who living around you. So go and start our 14 spiritual principles. And and we know the importance of principle. Basically, principles are the keys of this entire life, which we are living in this world on a planet Earth. And these principles are like a gem, like those uh, those source of knowledge which my soul and my mind, if it get familiar, and I bring those principles in my life, in my consciousness, in my awareness which I have, then my life will be much more happier, much more smoother, and much more without any misery and pain. So these principles you can apply in your personal life, in your business life, or if you have a job, or like as an employee, or if you have a family life, if you have a social circle, uh, it applies everywhere. Okay, and these are timeless principles. Principles are those things which are self-evident. You don't need to prove that this is a principle. And these are universal. So these are beyond any religion, any country, any city. So principles are timeless. Okay. That's why we call it universal. Its applications are universal. But these are spiritual principles which have more significance in our consciousness on an individual level or the collective consciousness as a part of this global planet Earth we belongs to. Okay, and these principles will help us to have a better understanding with the reality um, about the earth which we are living on this. We're living with our family, friend, with our colleagues, um, with our social circle, and more importantly, with myself, with ourself, within me, which is the more near to me. Okay, so my family, my children, my parents, my spouse, my friend, they comes later, they comes after. First myself, and this principle applies on myself. Okay, why? Because the way I see the world, the way I perceive the world, the way I conduct my behavior with my friend and family, with my customer, with my colleagues, is the reflection what I think about myself. Okay, so it's very much direct link. What you think about you, it will reflect on the surrounding around you. Okay, um, the way I see the world is exactly I think it is the world, but I'm trying to change your outlook. I'm trying to help you to transform your perception, transform the way you are thinking, the way you are feeling in more spiritual way and in more actual way. Okay. And more importantly, it is more uncomplicated and more simple way. Okay. The way which we see and we meet and we conduct our behavior and we have opinion, whether positive or negative, about others' behavior. It's very complicated, okay? And that's we have been taught by our society. My parents taught me, my teachers taught me in school, in university, um, and in my boss, my colleague, they taught me wrong things. But unfortunately, I have to see the whole world around me through these wrong teachings. Okay. But here, these 14 principles will help you to see the world as it is, as a real world, as how it is, without your prejudice, without your biasness, without your additive notes or opinion. Okay. For example, this is a glass, okay? And everyone has a different perception about this glass, okay? But one thing everybody knows, this is a, a glass, okay? A glass of water is an empty glass, okay? But always remember, okay, when we think and when we see the things differently, we give it a different meaning. We give the different meaning in terms what is the use of this thing, where we can apply this thing, how I can take it in my future life, how I used to take it in my past life, and more importantly, for a genuine happiness, what should do right now with this thing, with the present concern, right now. So living in the present moment is um, is the genuine moment, and that is the spiritual way, and that's how we need to change our awareness. Okay, and living more simple, uncomplicated life, and that leads to our genuine happiness. That is about the principles. So principles are more advanced level of learning. If we know about the principle, then our life will be much more easier, uh, full of joyness, and of course, with the genuine smile. So let's start our first principle. And that principle, I have taken it from the book of renowned psychiatrist and authority in spirituality, Dr. David R. Hawkins, um, from his book, The Map of Consciousness Explained. It's a mind-blowing book. Um, Mostly stuff I also teach and I also facilitate from this book. Okay, if you see, it is available on Amazon. Okay, so let's go and start with spiritual principle number one. And that principle we will go through first the definition. What is the principle number one? And then we will throw a deep light and contemplate the different aspect of that principle. And so is that okay? Is any question or thought before we start our principle? You can unmute your mic and speak whenever you want to speak, no problem. You can leave a text message as well as a comment or as something if you want to share. Okay. Right. Thank you, Javeria. So let's start our reading for today. Usually we read, my audience, they read with me or for me. So Melanie, if you are comfortable, are you able to read it loudly with us?
Okay. Hello. Can everybody hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Thank you.
Okay. What should I do to read the text?
That's right.
Okay. So, spiritual principle number 1, look at life not as a place to acquire gain, but as an opportunity for learning. First, look at life not as a place to acquire gain, but as an opportunity for learning, which abounds even in the smallest of life's details. Second, the primary spiritual quality is really one of overall attitude. A spiritual attitude leads one to be friendly, kind, and well-meaning to all life. Third, we find ourselves walking over an ant carefully rather than squashing it, not as a compulsive must or a religious rule, but out of a greater awareness of the value of all life. Fourth, all animals will be discovered to actually be individuals who respond to respect and attention. And fifth, even plants are aware of when you love and admire them.
Excellent. Amazing. Thank you so much, Melanie. It's a great reading.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Appreciate it. So let's read and try to understand this principle in detail, little bit. And if you have question or thought, let me know. The principle is highlighted here in a background color. So the principle is this one. Okay. Let me just hold it. So it's saying that look at the life not as a place to acquire gain, okay, but as an opportunity for learning. So there is a problem with our current life. And what is that? We look the life, we see the things and people in terms of some taking an advantage, something we can take. I will have my good colleagues as a friend. If my colleague will help me in that thing, I will have a job, and that job which will give me more money. Okay. I will live, or I try to be live with my those friend from which I can gain something. So our relationship with everything is based on some selfish interest, okay, some personal gain, okay. The and that's how we all are designing, okay. I want to migrate to another country, uh, and I love that country because that country has this benefit and advantage, isn't it? So we make our decision based on our selfish interest. I'm speaking on a critical point of view. We do not think, we do not make any decision if we do not have any advantage in that thing. However, the principle number 1 is saying we need to see with the people, we need to see our family, we need to see our workplace, our boss, our employee, we need to see our neighbors, we need to see everything around us in terms of a learning opportunity. So our life is a learning opportunity. Okay. We learn something new all the time. And this learning will help us to apply the details to make our life from ordinary life to a greater life. Okay. And it add the positive impact on small steps, on a small activity which I do. Okay. Now, how I can make everything as a learning point of view, as a learning attitude. There are 4 things Dr. David Hawkins is addressing here. One of the thing is mentioning that we need to live the life with friendly and kindness nature. And if we are parent, if we are children, if we are employee, if we are a boss, if we are a religious person, if we are our country or citizen, if we are a villager, whatever role or in location we are in this world, one thing we can exercise that we must have a friendly nature, a person with kindness, and that thing is really missing in our life. Okay, we have to show this kindness not only once moment or only one day or 2 days or just for gaining my selfish interest fulfillment. However, this kindness, this friendliness, friendliness within me all across the life until my death, this is the real purpose of um, the lifestyle of my life. We can't live the life without helping other. We cannot live the life without supporting someone. Um, we have to think about other people as well, people around us, without any selfish interest. You have to be selfless, and that selfless will element will help you to give a greater meaning of your life, a genuine happiness in your life. And whether you are living in any location, in any context of your life, okay? And so this is a spiritual attitude. So spiritual people, successful people, they all have friendly and kind nature. You will not find any person in your life who is spiritual and who is very violent. It can't be possible. Friendly, happier, kind people will be the spiritual people, and the vice versa. Okay. Uh, Even if you are crossing, if you are walking, and your foot is over ant, the ant is a very tiny crawling insect. Okay. And we don't care, and we can kill them over our feet, with our foot, and that is our attitude about the life. Unfortunately, the great people, the spiritual people, they take care. Even they don't kill any spider, any ant, any innocent creature we come across. That is the greatness um, of the spiritual people, and that we learn in this spiritual um, principle number one. The more importantly is we can see the all animals around us, that how they are responding us. Spiritual people, because they are loving, they are kind, so they have great response from pet animals, birds, kingdom. Okay, because spiritual people, great people, successful people, they are really true lover of animals. Cat, dogs, horse, lamb, sheep, goat, cow, deers, they all give us great response because every animal is individual. And if we want to know that what kind of person I am, what the degree, I beg your pardon, what the degree of love and kindness and friendly nature I have, I just see how I am uh, behaving with each of the animal kingdom, animal creature, and see how they respond to you. If they are surrendering you, if they are enjoying your presence, so this is a sign of you as a spiritual person. Okay, you cannot hit any dog and cat. You cannot see with the scary or fearful motives with when you come across with animal. Animals are your reflection of what you are, and that is the principle number one is telling us. Even even more importantly, plants, how you are loving towards plants kingdom, trees, how you are aware that the plants and trees they respond you as well. You see, um, I learned a great experiment couple of weeks ago, um, and there was a research done by university, um, and that university. Uh, I'm not going in details of that experiment, but that experiment was that a set of a number of what we call it plants they start to grow with indoor, and some of the plants they start to grow outdoor. So in outdoor plants they were less care, and there was noisy and polluted environment were given to the plants, whereas inside the home, inside the walls, the plants were more nurtured, give them water on properly, and and love and care as well. So they come across that the environment and the people who were loving more towards plants, the plants were more healthy, and the plants also show fragrance, and that's some reflection of love back to the gardener who were looking after the plants. So the plants are also reflection who you are, what type of person you are. Okay, so um, so everything is opportunity for learning. Every thing, creation, people, they all are a source of opportunity to educate us, to increase our spectrum of awareness, and that is the life we have to have an attitude. There is no place of ego. There is no place of arrogance. There is no place of hatred um, in the life. Um, Not only for me, but also people around me, animals around me, plants around me, birds around me, and even um, the solid things which I have in my room. Uh, there is no space of dealing with brutally with hatred. This is very fundamental principle to become a great person, um, and that is Dr. David Hawkins is saying in terms of different aspects. So here we um, learn this principle on a couple of things: the plants, animals, even the ants. That ant is here a reflection of tiny things in my life. Okay, ant. So don't take it literally. Take it that even a smallest thing in your life, smallest activity or happening in your life, you have to be very careful to do this thing. Don't take the things for granted. This is the great message. And no one be a great living a greater life without being a friendly, kindly nature person. Okay, and that is a principle number one. So if you have a question about spiritual principle number one, you can ask, you can write in the chat box, or you can unmute your mic and just start to share anything you want before I go to the principle number two. Right. So, So no one has a question, okay? But you can still leave the comment below if you have anything. Let's go to the principle number 2, and that is very important principle. Okay, there are many aspects and dimensions related to in this principle. So I would ask Javeria, um, if you can read it for us, please, if you can unmute your mic.
Spiritual principle number 2, develop humility. Develop humility with the awareness of the limitation of the mind and appearance, and you become insecure, in insecure singly in
Increasingly.
increasingly increasingly aware that life is filtered through perception, and that what you witness in the world are primarily attributes, attitudes, and perceptions, rather than self existent internal external realities. Every single happening is consequent to countless conditions unseen and unknowable, as the cause of anything is the totality of the universe up to that moment. Only someone that omens omniscience would be able to ascertain the significance of it. And thus, out of humility, you knowledge your lack of on omniscience. I know give way to I know give way to I don't know.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Javeria. It's a great reading. Thank you. So, this principle of greatness, this principle of being a spiritual person, being a genuine person, is telling us develop humility. Okay, and humility is a greatest value, greatest virtue of any individual can have. So the humility we call in Urdu ajizi. Um, that humility is the greatest value of any person can have, and that's a very big challenge for everyone, because most of the people, because of the egoic mind, because of ego uh, nature of our mind, uh, which make us also arrogant, they do not have this ability. They do not have this intrinsic value of humility. And what are the dimensions of this humility? Number one, always remember that in humility, you are not slave of your mind. In reality, this mind we call this place of myself, which is what I called skull. Within this skull, there is a brain, okay? And that brain has a function we call mind, which operate, which think, which have millions of thoughts, which generate millions of emotional ripples, okay? And we behave, our body respond accordingly what we are thinking, right? And that is a slavery. That is one of the biggest challenge in our life. The spiritual people, the greatest people, they do not controlled by their mind. They do not have a slavery attitude against the mind. Okay. Because always remember, our mind is very limited, is extremely limited, okay? Technically, I'm talking about. However, the spiritual people, they do not take instruction directly from mind, okay? When they are spiritually sounded and more mature in terms of spiritual intelligence, then this mind, this intellect, and this brain become a slave of your spirit, of your spiritual power. And then you start to conquer the world. Then you start to become a magnetic person. Then you become a greater soul. So you cannot, if you are an ordinary person, you cannot be slave of your mind, slave of a limited mind, which everyone has. Okay, so our brain is a very limited thing. We cannot see from a certain distance. We cannot hear from uh, I mean, more than a sound waves frequency. Our ear cannot listen them. We cannot taste everything. We have a limited taste from the tongue. Our body movement is very restricted, okay? Our smell, that has a limitation. So the five senses within my human body, which are governed by my mind, are very, very restricted. So if I have a restricted thing, a restricted organ or restricting body factor within my on my body, how I can be controlled by my mind and my body, um, and that's happening unfortunately with majority of people of this planet Earth, that we are controlled by our limited mind, we controlled by our five senses, and we cannot think beyond this. And we claim that we are the best creature. We are going to become more powerful, more limitless. This type of claims is quite hilarious. Okay, so because we haven't developed humility, we haven't developed ajizi within ourselves through the proper nature. That's why we all are mostly victim of mental retardation. We are victim of mental illnesses. We are victim of mental diseases uh, a lot in this modern age. Isn't it? I'm speaking truth or not? Uh, that we all are victim because our brain has a very limited capacity, and if I allow my brain and mind to control my body, and I associate myself with the brain and body only, then the brain and mind, they will start to play within me, and they will make me too much complex person, too much psychotic person, too much ill person. And then I will always start to go to see the doctor, to see the psychiatrist. I will always go to seek the medicine for cure. And that's how we all are, unfortunately, designing our life. But the great and spiritual people, they live the life without the dominance of the mind. Okay? They live with their will. They live with their purpose of life. Okay? And then they control the mind through their purpose. Okay? Um, and that is happen is this happening is possible when you have a humility, okay, when you know that your mind does not know too much. This will happen when you know that I have a limited knowledge, okay, I have a limited capacity. Then you uh, start to overcome your mind. And if if you see the world beyond perception, um, and that perception means if you see the things beyond your mind, you will see amazing thing. Has anybody seen the unicorn? Here is unicorn picture. If you see on that on your screen, is the unicorn exist in our true life? That unicorn does not exist, but it exists in our imagination. Okay, and those imagination are the result of our soul, our spiritual intelligence, with connection with our mental intelligence, uh, which are related with our mind. So when your spirituality, when your spiritual dimension connect with your mind, whatever you will think will uh, help you to connect with reality. Otherwise, it is very difficult. Um, so that's why the unicorn is our imaginary horse, horse type of creature, which is beyond mind, and mind has imaginized the unicorn as a reality. However, it is not the reality. We do not have any witness of unicorn. So when we start to think beyond mind, then we will start to develop humility. Okay, we will start when we will start to discover external realities outside our mind. That will develop humility. Okay, um, and this is the greatest thing which we can learn. So here is a notion which we just learned. Let me that this. He's saying you become increasingly aware that the life is filtered through perception, and that what you witness in the world are primarily attitude and perception. Okay, so we basically are governed by our perception, which is wrong. Okay, what we need to know that there are external realities that our brain cannot determine. Okay, and that humility we need to know, that humility we need to learn about. And what are these external reality? For example, angels, for example, God, um, for example, uh, there are a lot of millions of galaxies and planets, stars in our cosmic world, in a whole cosmological uh, view, which my eye see or my mind can little bit think of, that all also our external reality. Okay, there are many external reality within me which my mind cannot determine. Okay, um, but they are exist. Okay, so this is the thing which we need to know. uh, More importantly, always remember that we are victim of the conditions around us. We think that we are the best version of ourselves, but we are not. We are countlessly conditioning person. Lot of factors involve what I am doing now. Okay, we don't know. We don't know 99.99% knowledge and factors that why I did pick this glass of water. Why? Why I did pick? I only need one reason, and the reason is when I am thirsty, I will pick the glass of water and drink it. Just I only know this reason. But you know that there could be the thousands of reasons why I picked this glass of water other than my thirst. So we have a very little knowledge. Okay. We only act based on some conditions we have. Okay. Look at the dog. This is a quick story how we are conditioned. So if you see here on the left hand side where my cursor is, so here the dog has craving and it generates the saliva on his tongue. Okay, when the dog see the food, dog mouth become watery when dog see the food. But what happened? This is the unconditioned. But what is the condition? What about if when dogs see the food, but at the same time there is something, bell is ringing, for example, outside somewhere, all the time. Now, every time when the bell will ring, his mouth will water again, even there is no food there. Okay, so we call it is a conditioned response. Okay, even there is no food is there, as soon the bell is ringing, my mouth will start to water. So I will have a watery mouth, means I crave myself, and this crave will generate anxiety. Okay, but that anxiety was generated by your craving of unknown food. There was no food, but you were conditioned to feel that there is a food, and that condition was created by my society. Okay, and there are countless conditions that we do behave, we think like this because of my when I was child, when even I was in my tummy of my mummy, in the belly of my mummy, when my mom was pregnant, and I was in her tummy. From right that time, your conditioning is starting, and that conditioning will going onward experience. You will continue when you will born in this life, in this world, when you become year 1, year 2, year 4, when you become 25 years of age, when you become old, uh, or even you when you are at the time of dying, at the time of your death, still this conditioning is going on. So we all are product of our condition, unfortunately. We are conditioned how my society wants me um, to think about that. Okay, so because we are under our egoic mind and we do not have spiritual knowledge and spiritual awareness, that's why we are conditions. So the spiritual principle, this spiritual principle number 2 is saying, here, let me show you from there, that what is happening, okay, every single happening is consequent to countless conditions, unseen and unknowable, as the cause of anything is the totality of the universe up to that moment. Okay, that's why the knowledge of astrology is also there. A lot of people believe that the movement of stars um, determined our human behavior and conduct as well. Okay, so they think that that the variation and the movement of planet and cosmic world's activity, they influence our act on this planet Earth. That's why. So I'm not asking you to believe on astrology or this knowledge. I'm asking you just that because of that reason, it could be one of the possibility. Okay. Uh, and there is humility means external reality to believing and think outside the box. And that external reality is that we are not omnipotent. We are not omniscience. Okay, this word is not English word, so that's I think its pronunciation is not omniscience. It's omniscience. Uh, Something like is taken from other language. Maybe it's I think Greek or Latin in this word. And what does it mean that because we are not present everywhere, that's why we don't have knowledge of everything. We even look at, I'm present in my office, in my room right here. Even I don't have a fully knowledge of this room. So even I cannot claim that I'm of this science. I'm all knowing of this room. Okay. Very limited knowledge of this room I know. Okay, that thing is placed there, what this room is made of, what is the length of this room, what how the walls were constructed, what the paint quality of my room. There are just little, bit and pieces I know, but I don't know the countless facts about my room. Okay, because I'm not God. Okay, that is a property of God. That's why the God in religious texts is the God is the one being who knows each and everything of this about universe. Okay, that's why we call it the God is omnipresent. Okay, the God is all knowing, and God um, have access of everything. Okay, so because of this, we as a human are too tiny to describe this fact. Okay, so the spiritual principle number 2, which we are learning, is telling this line. If I'm going to tell you, read it again for you. It's saying only someone with omniscience would be able to ascertain the significance of it. And thus, out of humility, your knowledge of your knowledge is your lack of omniscience. So, because of our, we are not omnipresent. Okay, we do not present everywhere. So that's why this is our humility. You have to admit it. You cannot claim that you know many things or you are a better scientist now, you are a better philosopher. No, come out from this arrogance. It will destroy not only you, but it will destroy your field. It will mislead to the other rest of the world. Okay, knowledge is power, yes, but knowledge without humility is destruction. You have to learn the knowledge, learn more, but at the same time, you need to admit you don't know. Okay, and that is the next point, which of this principle is I know give way to I don't know. Okay, and that is the um, best thing which I could say to myself. I don't know. It's not for excuse, it is for admitting the reality. Okay, and I don't know is the super knowing. I don't know is a fantastic humility. Okay, and it's not a weakness, it's not the error. Okay, it is just a humility. It's just a ajzi in within you. Okay, that I don't know. Sorry, I don't know. I'm a limited person. Okay, but I will try to learn more. Okay, so this is the principle number 2, spiritual principle. I will recommend you to read this book, The Book of Not Knowing by Peter Ralston. Uh, I have this book in my library, if you see this. Well, I don't know whether you can see it or not. Okay. So that book is an amazing book. I have read a couple of pages. It's a very thick book. I will find some good time to read it. Basically the theme of this book is that you don't know, okay? And basically the author, Peter Ralston, is trying to emphasize you that there is a power if you don't know, okay? If you don't know the things, it's better for you. More you know, more you will be in trouble, because your egoic mind, which is generating countless thoughts, you know that your mind is generating 70,000 thoughts every day, whether you think knowingly or unknowingly, whether you think consciously or unconsciously. So because of these countless thoughts, you will be more in trouble. Okay. The less you will have thought, or the quality thoughts you have, the better for you. And that is an admittance of the humility. Okay. And yeah, so that's our principle number 2. We learn it. Humility. Develop humility. And principle number 1, we learn that look at the life not as a place to acquire gain, but as an opportunity for learning in several ways. Okay. So what question or answer we can conduct on this? What, you have any question? You have any thoughts now? You can unmute your mic and start to share. More you will question, more you will comment, more likely you will learn more genuine knowledge. Okay, no problem, Melody. I hope you get the message of these 2 principles. So next Sunday we will know, because our 60 minutes are just crossing it. So we will learn the principle number 3, number 4, number 5. And we will learn more advanced knowledge about our life and about ourselves. And don't think that this is just a merely knowledge or information. Try and go and apply in your personal knowledge right now, from today. Whatever you are learning, just put on a journal and the notes on your mobile, on your diary, and start to follow it. This life is too small. It's too small. And if you think that, oh, I will do it, I will apply it, I will reread it after 1 month or 1 year or next time, this time will never come. It will pass very quickly. Time will never give you that opportunity again to reread it, read the things, relook and apply in your life. Life is too short, too short. So the best approach you can do, whatever you are learning in your life, for example, in this class, the principle number 1, principle number 2, which we learned, if you think that these are relevant with your life, just apply and live by this. That's it. Or if you need more clarity, you need to research, you need to meet wise people and discuss with them about if you have some unclarity. Otherwise, just apply it and enjoy it and live a genuine, happier life. Otherwise, life will be too complex, okay, if you will not apply it. The knowledge only comes true knowledge is the knowledge which is in your part of your life, which you are practicing. Okay. Knowledge is not something is theoretically just written in a book, and you know that this book is about this. No. Okay, this is just information that this knowledge is in that book, but this knowledge becomes true knowledge when you will start to act and follow and live by this knowledge. And that's why because we want to live a genuine and happier life. Without clarity, we cannot achieve a genuine happier life. Okay. So that's it. That's the 60 minutes for our class. I hope you enjoy it. If you have any question, if you have any thought, uh, you can ask me next week. We can share it. Okay. So 14 spiritual principles are going on. And yeah, and you can join the YouTube channel. Just go on a YouTube and search my name, Marathi Balishad, and you will find that name. Okay, Javeria has a question. Yes, Javeria, please unmute your mic and you can share.
Yes, thank you. It's not a question, but as you said, apply it and enjoy it. So it was amazing once I watched the movie The Secret, and there was amazing thing as we whatever we have wished, we just have to note down on a paper and focus on this, and nature work on this, and nature help us to complete to accomplish the task. And once I learned from there that we if we start our day with a smile and we look ourselves in a mirror with a smile, then our full day then we spend our day with positive vibes, and we enjoy our day. So it was amazing, your yeah, statement that apply it and enjoy it, remember with this. Thank you.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, it's amazing thing you just share it. I do as well. Whatever I learn, I put in my diary. This is my diary. Okay, it's full of pages and notes and stuff. And this is my diary for 2023. Okay, I'm going to buy for next year as well. So I write it and I follow it, and that's it. It makes my life more beautiful, more clear, more simple, you know. And I enjoy, I chill my life. Um, Excellent. So, Melanie, thank you very much. You also saying, yeah, see you next week. Finger crossed, we will see you. We will have more people um, who um, who will come next Sunday as well. Usually, this class has around 265 people who have registered in this class. So they come in different weeks, different time, or they watch my recording of these as well. So, but the best learning is a one-on-one connection, like right now. Um, this is the best learning which anybody can do. Otherwise, on internet there are millions of videos on the topics are there, and people don't have time to watch them to learn it. So that's why I have started this lifelong study circle. So at least for 1 hour a week, we can learn and just apply directly in our life. So thank you so much for your presence. I appreciate your time, and see you next time, the same time, next Sunday, and with more spiritual principle for making a greater our life and helping other people. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye.